Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think, and for me that's good, because a lot of times, I don't know how you write, but I have stuff that just pops into my head out of nowhere, like all the time, and I have to write it down or it's gone. And I can suddenly, it's like, people who hear voices in their head think they're crazy. And maybe I'm crazy, but at least I have a purpose for the voices in my head,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, it's I'm like, to me, that's one of those things too, where it's like, uh, yeah, I love those voices. And where do those voices come from? I don't know, but they give me some pretty cool
Well, they're
ideas.
part of you, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you like I'll have a conversation that takes place in my head that like, oh, I gotta get this into the script. And it may be something that tells me more than I already knew about the characters, but it literally, as you know, it seems to just come out of nowhere. It's literally like some force that's just saying, oh, here, how would you like to use this?
Yeah. And like the fun thing too is like whenever you're writing characters, well, at least for me, I'm writing characters and they're talking back and forth. So, I'm writing the dialogue, and then all of a sudden they just go off on their own, and
Right.
they just start talking to each other. And then whenever the scene's done, you're just like, oh wow, they're the ones that did it.
Right. No, it's like you're not consciously creating it. It's like
Yeah.
it's like it's like almost like you're just listening to it, and it's like you're saying, all right, well, hold on a minute, let me get that down.
Yeah.
And that's great, because that to me is like, those are very pleasurable times, because it's like, as if by magic or forces, beyond your humanity, something is being brought to you.
Yeah.
Whereas other times, as I'm also sure you struggle to figure out what it is you want to say and exactly how you should say it.
Yeah. And that's like why one of the questions I hate getting is, oh, where do you get your ideas? And it's like, well, if I knew where I got my ideas, I'd go get them all the time. Like
Yeah.
they just pop up. See, and the thing that I think too is for writers and creatives, we kind of come with an antenna that is up really, really high, and it catches these strange waves of ideas and things
Right.
that some people can't. And then there's some people whose antenna's higher than others, and they can create more, or it's pointed in a different direction, so like there's just this weird way where we just kind of capture these ideas.
Right. Yeah. And I think if you're creative, you may hear something or see something and take something from it that other people aren't going to.
Yeah.
That leads you to like a much broader field of ideas. And it's like, it's because your thought process and your experience has interpreted that and sort of inspired you in a way that maybe no one else could be inspired.
Yeah. Like my first book, I Wear My Sunglasses at Night, was inspired by the song whenever I was a kid. I just always figured that the song was about vampires, because who else would be wearing sunglasses at night? And then so I grew up telling people that, and they're like, oh, I never thought about that. I was like, I thought about that when I was a kid, and finally I wrote a book about it, and so yeah, it's just one of those things, it can't be explained. But is there anything you can tell us about Spookies, the sequel?
It is myself and my partner Tom Doran, who passed away a few years ago, and that was really a striking blow to me, because we were very much in tune with each other creatively. We were able to really our tastes and aesthetics were very close. I really trusted him, he trusted me. So I miss having that kind of give and take with somebody that I don't have to hesitate. In a lot of other cases, even if someone is like creative or I like their work and I'm working with them, I may have to go through pains to make something clear, or to try and get someone on my level to see what I'm seeing. But Tom and I, we did it almost telepathically, and he was so wildly creative. He would come up with ideas literally almost every day. He'd say, "Oh, I came up with an idea," and then he'd send me a paragraph and an email and say, "What do you think of this?" I go, "That's fucking great." And you go, "Yeah, you can have it. I'll never be able to do anything with it. I'll never have a chance."